Hey, it's Paul Blough. It's time for another 5x5, and we're going to talk to you today about the dark side of the cloud. So the cloud is, as you know, the internet, and it's when we move services, applications, servers, whatever, into the internet, and really we're putting them on somebody else's server someplace. And so it's not that it's not still on a server, it's not on hardware, it's not mystically in the air, or osmosis or whatever. It's physically located on somebody else's server. Now, it's just on a highly efficient, highly effective server that is very, very scalable and very, very resilient most of the time. And that's the real issue. And so as of today, we're one day off of a very large Amazon cloud outage. And so the Amazon cloud outage, and I'm not picking on Amazon, everybody has had these, but this is what's fresh in my mind right now. Amazon's outage affected a ton of cloud-based services. Now let's talk what I mean by a cloud-based service. So something like QuickBooks that's located on your computer, that's not a cloud-based service. That's located on your server or on your PC. But QuickBooks Online is a cloud-based service. There is not a version of QuickBooks, and none of your data is on your local PC. It's all someplace else, perhaps Amazon as an example. In my particular case, I use a product called Trello, and Trello is a really, really cool product. I've talked about it before, and what Trello allows you to do is create lists of little cards, and it's sort of like an indexing system, so you can kind of keep your ideas and tasks sorted very quickly, and I use it for doing a lot of sketching out of the different things that I may be working on. Well, Trello is a cloud-based service. What's really cool about that is that I can use Trello on my phone, I can use Trello on my iPad, I can use Trello on my Mac, I can use Trello on my Windows PC at the house, and it's always the same, except for yesterday. And yesterday I went to put something into Trello. I had a great idea, and I've forgotten that idea because I got so disturbed by the fact that I couldn't get into Trello. I had this great idea that I was going to put in my big ideas chart that I have in Trello, and I got a nice big 404 error message saying that we're so sorry, but Trello is down right now. And that bothered me, and I thought, well, I must have maybe typed it in wrong. I checked the typing, it went through everything, and that's when I found out that there was a big outage in the Amazon cloud, and it affected Trello and many, many other services yesterday, and they were down for many hours. And it really was kind of scary to me from the standpoint that I have actually put some pretty important information onto Trello, and I don't have a backup of that information because I haven't needed to, because Trello provides their own backup for their services. It's not something that I've had to worry about, and that's why we like the cloud, because we just kind of do it and don't have to worry about any of those details until something goes wrong. So this is the concern, and this is why I don't think that the cloud is the universal solution for everything. Now, me not having my Trello board didn't really shut our business down and didn't cause me too much grief, other than that forgotten idea that I no longer know what is and may never ever figure out again. Might have been world changing for all I know, but that idea is just gone, and so it doesn't have a huge impact on our business, but it could have. And so, for instance, if I was doing an accounting software that was in the cloud and that same thing had happened, I wouldn't have access to my accounting information. Or if I'm a doctor and I'm using it for the medical records, I wouldn't have access to medical records. Well, now that's not only just business disruptive, but that could be life disruptive. That could be a very dangerous thing by not having access to the health records of somebody when you're diagnosing them and trying to figure out what's going on with them. So this is why I get a little bit concerned sometimes when we think about we're going to just move everything into the cloud. I really don't think that that's going to be the case. I think what we need to do is be very strategic and move just a few things to the cloud that are able to operate in that environment, and we're going to still need to keep some things locally, or at least backed up locally onto our system, so that we can work on that. So, dark side of the cloud, it's not always going to be there when you need it, and it's not always going to work, and you need to give that some strong consideration before you decide to move an application that's very important to you into somebody else's infrastructure, and by that we mean the cloud. So there's the dark side of the cloud.